Imagine for a moment you're standing there and a man gives you a hug. It's not just a simple gesture. There's power behind it. In that moment, you have to ask yourself, what does this really mean? What does it say about who he is and what he values? Today, I'm here to break it down for you. Because when a man gives you a hug, it's not just a physical touch. It's a reflection of something much deeper, a message, a signal, and an opportunity for you to gain insight into the relationship, the trust, and the emotional exchange happening right before your eyes. And you deserve to understand it fully. So if a man gives you a hug, here's what you can assume. When a man gives you a hug, it's often a silent expression of trust and connection. It's a powerful, nonverbal way of showing that he feels comfortable enough to let down his guard and be vulnerable with you. Trust isn't just about words. It's about actions that reveal deeper emotions and intentions. A hug conveys a sense of emotional safety, indicating that he feels secure enough to be close to you without the need for defenses. It's an unspoken bond, a mutual understanding that you're both present in the moment, sharing something intimate. A hug creates a bridge between two individuals, allowing the space for both to feel understood, valued, and accepted. For a man especially, it can be difficult to express emotions verbally, but a hug provides a way to communicate deep feelings without having to find the right words. In that brief moment, he is showing that he trusts you to hold that connection, to respect it, and to understand the weight it carries. Trust in this context isn't just about physical closeness, it's about emotional vulnerability, the willingness to share a part of himself that he might not openly reveal in other situations. When you receive a hug, it's an invitation to feel the connection that goes beyond surface level interactions. It's a reminder that trust is something that can be built and nurtured over time. And that it's not just about the frequency of physical gestures, but the depth of the relationship. Through a hug, a man expresses his comfort with you in a way that speaks volumes about the connection he feels, even when words are left unsaid. A hug can be a manifestation of emotional vulnerability, revealing a side of a man that might not often be exposed. Men are often conditioned to suppress their emotions, especially in public or in situations where they might feel judged. However, in the act of giving a hug, he is allowing himself to be open and raw. It's an intimate gesture that goes beyond the physical act of touch. It's about expressing feelings that might otherwise remain hidden. Emotional vulnerability in this sense is about more than just sharing your feelings. It's about being willing to let someone see you in a moment of openness without fear of judgment or rejection. When a man gives you a hug, it's a signal that he is willing to let his guard down, to share a part of himself with you that is not always visible. It is an acknowledgement that he trusts you enough to be vulnerable, to show his true emotions without needing to hide behind a mask. This vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but rather a demonstration of strength. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to step into a space where emotional exposure is possible. In that moment, a man might be expressing feelings of affection, support, or even a longing for connection. A hug allows for this exchange, providing a safe space for both parties to feel supported and understood. All through this act, he's signaling that he values the connection enough to be vulnerable, showing that he's ready to share in that emotional experience with you. When a man gives you a hug, it often symbolizes his desire to protect and support you. This gesture can serve as a reassuring physical expression that he is there for you, both emotionally and physically. A hug can be a moment where he signals that he is ready to stand by you, offering comfort in times of need. This act of protection is not just about shielding you from harm, but also about offering a sense of security and stability in your relationship. A man who hugs you is showing that he is emotionally invested in ensuring your well-being. It's his way of saying, I've got you. Whether you're facing challenges, uncertainties, or moments of stress, the hug communicates that he cares deeply about your emotional state and is willing to offer you strength during those moments. He wants to be a support system in your life, someone who can provide reassurance when things feel uncertain or overwhelming. The protective aspect of a hug can also be a way for him to show his commitment to your relationship. It's not just a simple touch, it's a reminder that he will be there through thick and thin, offering the strength and stability that you might need. A man who hugs you is actively creating an environment where you can feel safe, valued, and understood, knowing that he is by your side, ready to provide the support you deserve. Through this simple act, he demonstrates his dedication to being a protector, someone who will always be there for you no matter the circumstances. When a man gives you a hug, it can signify a deep commitment to the relationship, reflecting his desire to emotionally invest in you and the connection you share. This commitment goes beyond casual affection. It's an indication that he is emotionally available and willing to strengthen the relationship through meaningful, supportive actions. A hug is his way of reinforcing that the connection is not temporary, but something he wants to sustain and grow. It's his way of showing that he values the relationship enough to demonstrate affection and care in a tangible, personal way. A man who hugs you is often signaling that he is fully invested in the journey the two of you are on together. He is signaling that he sees the relationship as something worth nurturing and that he's committed to being a consistent presence in your life. The act of embracing you creates an emotional connection that builds trust, understanding, and respect, which are the foundations of any lasting bond. In this moment, his hug serves as a reminder that his commitment to you is real and rooted in a desire to maintain and deepen the relationship for the long term. When a man gives you a hug, it often reveals a strength in his vulnerability. In many societies, men are taught to mask their emotions and portray themselves as strong, stoic figures. However, choosing to express affection through a hug challenges these norms, showing that true strength comes from emotional openness. This is not about physical strength or the ability to be tough. It's about the courage to show vulnerability, to share emotions and express care without fear of being judged or misunderstood. A hug allows a man to step outside of his comfort zone and embrace a moment of emotional exposure, which can be incredibly empowering. By opening himself up in this way, he's demonstrating that he is secure enough in himself to express affection and tenderness. This act is a reminder that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a source of power. The ability to be open and genuine in moments of closeness requires emotional strength, and through a hug, a man is showing that he is confident in his ability to connect with others on a deeper level. Most people want to be loved. Most people want acceptance. Most people want to be cherished. In these moments, the hug is more than just a physical gesture. It is a testament to his emotional depth and maturity. It's an acknowledgement that expressing love and care is not only a sign of strength, but also an essential part of creating lasting, meaningful relationships. Through vulnerability, a man can build deeper trust and connection, which ultimately makes him a more powerful presence in the lives of those he cares about. When a man gives you a hug, it is often a clear indication of his respect for your boundaries. While many forms of affection or connection can be misinterpreted or rushed, a hug shows a level of consideration for how you feel in the moment. It's not about pushing past personal space or expectations. Instead, it's about understanding and respecting what is appropriate for both parties involved. A hug is a gentle, respectful gesture that acknowledges the other person's comfort zone, while also offering a sense of emotional closeness. This respect for boundaries is not limited to physical space, but extends to emotional and psychological comfort as well. A man who gives you a hug demonstrates that he recognizes the importance of making sure you feel safe, respected, and heard. He's mindful of how his actions may be received and is careful not to overstep any boundaries that could lead to discomfort or unease. It's a sign that he values you enough to honor your needs and wishes, whether they involve space, timing, or how intimate the interaction should be. A hug also provides a sense of reassurance that this connection is based on mutual respect. It's not about the force of the gesture or its intensity, but the thoughtfulness behind it. Through a hug, a man can show that he is committed to fostering a relationship built on understanding and respect, where boundaries are not only acknowledged, but celebrated. This kind of emotional consideration makes the bond between two people stronger, as it creates an environment where both can thrive and feel valued. When a man gives you a hug, it often conveys a sense of confidence and assurance. A hug is not just about physical proximity, it's about the emotional security he feels in that moment. He is confident enough in his feelings to offer a gesture of closeness, trusting that it will be received positively. It reflects a sense of certainty in the connection between you, demonstrating that he doesn't need to second-guess his intentions. He is comfortable with who he is and how he feels, which enables him to express affection freely without hesitation. This confidence also manifests in his ability to provide comfort and support through a hug. He is secure enough to be the one offering reassurance and strength, knowing that his actions will have a positive impact on you. In moments of emotional difficulty or stress, his hug becomes a physical symbol of his emotional certainty that he will be there for you, offering his presence without fear or doubt. Confidence in a hug also shows that he trusts the relationship and the bond you share. He is not afraid to express himself or show his affection because he understands the importance of fostering closeness and trust. Through this simple act, he communicates not only his emotional assurance, but also his belief in the value of the relationship. A man who hugs you is showing that he has no reservations about being open and emotionally available, reinforcing the strength and stability of the connection between you. When a man gives you a hug, it's often a nonverbal way of reaffirming his emotional investment in you. This physical gesture can speak louder than words, offering reassurance that he cares about your well-being and values the relationship you share. In that moment, a hug becomes an affirmation, a statement that his feelings are genuine and he's emotionally present. This is a way of showing that he's not just going through the motions, but actively investing his energy and heart into the connection. This reaffirmation comes with a sense of security. A man who hugs you is saying, "I'm here for you," without needing to explain himself further. It's a simple yet profound action that underscores his emotional commitment, making it clear that he's not only in the relationship physically, but is also emotionally invested. It's a reminder that he is engaged and present, ready to nurture the bond between you both. A hug can also be an ongoing reminder that the emotional connection is steady and strong. It's a way for him to reaffirm his support, even in the absence of words. Whether it's a reassuring embrace after a challenging day or a comforting hug in a moment of uncertainty, it serves as a consistent signal that he is emotionally committed to you. Through this act, he's signaling that his feelings are unwavering, reinforcing the foundation of trust, affection, and connection between the two of you. Whenever a man gives you a hug, it often signifies a deeper emotional investment, one that reflects his genuine care for you. It's more than just a gesture. It's a way for him to communicate his affection and presence without relying on words. In that embrace, he is conveying a message of emotional availability, showing that he is invested in your connection and in creating a space where both of you can feel seen and heard. Through a hug, a man expresses his desire to be close to you, not just physically, but emotionally. It's a reminder that he values the bond between you and is willing to show up for you in a meaningful way. The act of hugging reinforces that he is engaged in the relationship, committed to making it stronger, and that he's emotionally present, ready to offer support, affection, and care whenever it's needed. A hug also signals a willingness to share in emotional experiences, whether they are joyful or challenging. It shows that he wants to be part of your life and to offer comfort when necessary. It's an unspoken promise to be there, to share in the highs and lows, and to provide a sense of stability and warmth. Through this simple act, he confirms his emotional investment in a way that words may not fully capture, but that resonates deeply, creating a lasting sense of connection and trust. In conclusion, when a man gives you a hug, it's far more than just a physical act. It's a profound expression of emotional connection, trust, vulnerability, and care. It's his way of communicating feelings that might be difficult to put into words, yet speak volumes about his intentions and the depth of his investment in you and the relationship. Each hug carries its own meaning, a reflection of his commitment, respect, affection, and even his willingness to be vulnerable and emotionally available. So the next time a man embraces you, don't just see it as a simple gesture. Understand the significance behind it. Recognize that in that brief moment, he is offering a part of himself, sharing in the experience of connection, and reinforcing the emotional bond that ties you together. His hug is a reminder that relationships are built on more than just words. They are strengthened by the unspoken actions that reveal the true depth of care and commitment.